Hey there, I'm Lee Rowley, and this is Lee After Dark. Why? Because there's more to being a business leader than just business. Each episode, one brave entrepreneur ejects the elevator pitch and just gets real. Today, I'd like to welcome David Alto. David, how are you?
I am fantastic, and it's a pleasure to be on Lee After Dark. I've seen a few of your, more than a few of your podcasts, and I really appreciate them, and I look forward to today. We'll see.
Well, yeah, I know. I really appreciate you spending some time with us. It's always good to get fresh perspectives. And just before I go on, do you go by David or Dave? Do you care?
Actually, really does not matter. Whatever
Okay,
you're
cool.
comfortable with.
All right, cool. Just wanted to make sure.
Sure.
Well, the rules are simple. The next 20 minutes, we can talk about anything you want but your business. And then after that, you get 5 minutes to pitch up a storm. But as you know, if you mention your business during 20 minutes, you lose 1 minute of pitch time at the end, so forth and so on. You ready to play?
I'm ready to play.
All right, let's go ahead and set the timer here. And what do you want to get into for the next 20 minutes?
All right. I think that's easy enough. So I'm going to go back, and I think it's February 2019. Geez, almost a year ago. I'd already had a LinkedIn account, but hadn't been very active on the platform, right? Had an account for years. And unfortunately, the company that I was with, we were going to sell, not going to sell. We're going to franchise. So, I better get on LinkedIn, right? Look for work. And I guess February, March, I learned all the wrong things to do on LinkedIn. And I promise this will get quick to what I'm doing now. But, I contacted recruiters, right? I was just sending resumes out, and I just learned all the wrong things to do. Shortly after, I started posting some content just because other people were doing it. I had some amazing people along the way to give me some advice. I found the LinkedIn platform to be a very giving platform. Ended up getting an interview at Amazon call center for a leadership role. That in itself is a very unique experience, interviewing with Amazon. Well, anyway, didn't get the job. Shortly after that, an amazing gentleman by the name of Corey Warfield on LinkedIn. And for those of you that are on LinkedIn, you might know who he is. But anyway, we connected. He said, "Hey, let's get on a call." We talked about what I was currently doing. I was volunteering at my local unemployment office, volunteering for resume advice, LinkedIn profile advice. I was just having fun and very passionate about that. We had a conversation, Corey and I. We talked about me not getting that Amazon job. We talked a little bit more, and he's like, "Dave, I'm glad you didn't get it. What you were telling me about your volunteer work, it sounds like you would really enjoy that. So you know what? Really seek that out on LinkedIn, and you never know." Well, months and months later, I started giving away free advice, from my previous roles in life. I have always helped people with resumes and kind of LinkedIn anyway. So had my first paying client in early August, and kind of the rest is history, I guess you could say. I left my corporate job December 13th of 2019 to do resume coaching, LinkedIn coaching, interview prep full time. For the past 3+ months, I was doing both my corporate job and kind of my side little thing. That was very difficult, but I had to, proof of concept, had to get that going. Just launched my own company, Alto Advance. And I guess the rest is history. I guess, what else do you want to know?
Well, in terms of leading up from leaving a corporate job to go out on your own, and that's a big leap for anybody, and it's scary for all of us. So what I'm interested in is the crossroads that put you there at that point of saying, you know what, this corporate thing just not. I know some of it, but what's that conversation internally?
Sure. In September, I was aggressively doing both, working 50+ hours a week in my corporate job, 20, 30, 40 hours a week in my side thing. And And I had some amazing people along the way say, Dave, you will know when it's time. And I really didn't understand that, but I could tell that now my corporate job was getting in the way of me getting more business, because I had to turn down business. I mean, I had to sleep, right? So, there was only so much time in a day. I saw the business that was out there. So I think that there has to be there's a moment, a defining moment that you will find, and it'll be different for everybody, but there'll be a defining moment that you will just know. But you got to kind of have that. I mean, I couldn't have left my corporate job in September and then just hoped and prayed that this worked out. I kind of had to suffer through that. And you know what? It feels good now because I can still remember, the very early mornings and the late nights every day of the week. So I wish I could say pinpoint something, but internally, you will know when that day job's getting in the way of you crushing it, living out your dream.
Yeah, that's really great. Everybody's answer to that is different. So I'm always fascinated to see what people come up with because I do speak to so many people who have made that transition. And nobody says, it was just super easy. I just kind of walked into my new business one day and everything was just fine. No, it does not work like that. So, but as you see, you get through it. And as you say, you said you suffered, but you're glad you did. And that's something that really resonates with me and a lot of our listeners is using, painful experiences to not only improve ourselves, but to improve the value that we provide to others.
I look back and, I gave for months and months and months, I gave away advice for free. Right. But I had to, not to hone my skills in doing it, because I was pretty confident. But, how much time is it going to take? Can I, what can I do? Best practices to streamline this a little bit better and be more efficient with my time. And you got to kind of do that. I mean, some of us, maybe you don't have that luxury because maybe you're currently not working. Obviously, then that would be a little bit more difficult. But, I wouldn't change anything, even though it was very difficult. I did surround myself with positive people, always sharing goals. You have to share goals for those goals, it seems, to really come alive. And when my wife finally told me, hey, you're really good at this, then internally that really allowed me to then know that I'm good and know that it was, time to give that notice to my boss there.
That's so important. And, we all need that validation. And I think that that's maybe what that comes down to, is that an important point of validation, because obviously your wife's is her opinion is very important to you. And to have that backing, that's really cool as being, one of the things that eventually allowed you to make that leap.
Oh yes, and I know I suffered from imposter syndrome, and that word is thrown around a lot. But I had people, because I'd been in my business for almost 20 years in my corporate job, and I can say I was good at that, right? But when you get a new skill or you find something that you're really good at in the beginning, you have a harder time saying that you're really, really good at it. And I had other people surrounding me telling me, well, if your clients are happy with what you're doing for them, even if it's free, they're telling you you're good. But until you really realize it, you can't really move to that next level and move forward. You have to internally know that you're good at it. And that's hard sometimes, because we're a wise person told me, humility without bragging. And I had to learn that. I could still say I'm good without coming across that I'm bragging about myself.
Yeah. I've always found it's better to just let other people say you're good.
Yeah,
for the most part. That just seems to work a heck of a lot better. It's a lot less effort too. So is there any point in this process, or you mentioned, giving away a ton of free advice and information, obviously it's something that I resonate with, but did you have anybody that was in the background going, no, you're nuts for giving all this away, you should be charging for this?
Yeah, no, sure. Well, I mean, in the beginning, the LinkedIn community, tells people, like, I share little videos now every day about something about maybe resumes or cover letters or LinkedIn or the resume scanning software. I share that information because by sharing, we do learn more about, about ourselves. So, people were encouraging me to continue to give away because then again, you learn more. But then there was a point where, some of my friends said that you could, charge now, but I waited until the first client said, Dave, I gotta pay you. This was so good. And so I allowed him to pay me. And then after that, I said, well, I guess that's it. So now I can officially charge.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Whatever allows you to flip that switch in your brain. I know that in my line of work, I charged very little for a long time because that's what I thought I was supposed to do.
Yes.
And flipping that to charging what I charge now, which is substantially more than a little, it was, took some game playing in my own mind. But it's a process that everybody goes through. And again, it's rather than be like, gosh, I don't want to deal with this to get to my goals. Hey, you know what? You can either take a few kicks and, it'll be okay, or you can sit on the couch and do nothing. And then 20 years from now, you can wonder why you didn't. So.
No, you're absolutely right. And I'm a doer anyway. If I'm going to do something, I jump in, both feet. I'm going to do it. I might research it and do kind of like what I did about, giving it away. But if I'm going to do something, if it's worth doing, you got to just go for it.
Absolutely. So hard left, you mentioned that you're 50% finished. So I gotta ask you about that. How'd you come to that conclusion? What's that all about?
Sure. So yeah, for some of the listeners and the viewers, they might not understand. So no, my grandparents came here from the country of Finland.
Really?
So,
okay.
Oh yes, back in the very, very early 1900s. And migrated to Minnesota, where it seems like all Scandinavian people that migrated here, it seems like they came there, a lot of lakes and stuff, very similar. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so yes, I am 50%, I am 50% finished, and hopefully one day be 100% finished. No, just a joke. Love the hat too. Nice.
Thank you. Yes, I did. Yeah. It's the part of having no hair thing that I just, I've got all the lights up here, and without that, it's just the glare. The thing. It's just a bad thing. No, but thank you very much. Thing. I can appreciate your sense of fashion as well. So, have you been to Finland?
I have not.
You have not.
I've been to Greece. I guess that's as close to in the surroundings, but no. And I would like to go there. I did a book report. I remember when I was 6 years old on Finland, had a researched some stuff, talked to some relatives over there, and but no, I would love to visit.
I hear there are reindeer, and I hear they're a traffic hazard.
I think the reindeer are a little bit farther north than so if you have if those reindeer are in traffic, you might already be on a sled pretty far north. So yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize it was a territorial thing. They're not migratory, I take it,
Yeah, they're way, I think, above the Arctic Circle, where probably some nomads and some other people are living. So
well, nice. I don't know. Somebody must have just been, blowing smoke, but who knows? I don't know. You've got 6 minutes left here. What else you want to get out into the world?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, I think, like I said, the easiest place to find me is on LinkedIn. I'm on there daily, giving away little tidbits of advice. Like I said, resume. The real big one right now is the resume scanning software. You could have the most amazing resume, but if you don't take your time, make sure to, match it up with the job description. What I mean by, in some keywords, you're just because you could have crushed that position if you would have got an opportunity to apply, but because it doesn't match up enough, it never gets seen. So unfortunately, you do have to slow down a little bit, look for those keywords in there. And what's really been chapping my hide lately, and I did a video on it on LinkedIn about a week ago, is this company's out there selling it like a one-page resume format that has your picture, it has all icons and stuff like that. And I tell you what, there's just icons, vertical lines, horizontal lines, hyperlinks. The resume scanning software hates all those things. And the problem is it looks pretty, makes your resume look pretty, but then you wonder why you never get, called for an interview. So those are some of the tidbits that
Sure.
That I've been trying to give away and educate to everybody. Obviously, I can provide some of those services to get you past, but I like to educate the LinkedIn population on that as well too.
Very good, very good. So, favorite last day of school memory? Yeah, I just pulled that out of nowhere. Yeah,
boy. Okay, that was easy. That's high school.
Okay.
I thought about going to college, couldn't really afford it back then. I really hadn't had any family members that went to college. So, I went to college later in life, but that after high school, I just wanted to work full time. So I remember that, and I think I worked pretty much full time anyway back then, because you could back then. But I knew last day of school, I could work every day now if they wanted me to. And where was that? That was at Burger King when I was 18.
No kidding. Okay. Yeah. I think at one time I was the highest paid Whopper flopper in the state of Ohio or something like that. Yeah, I did that in summers when I wasn't in college.
Sure.
I do remember, and it was an absolute blast, because every time you'd hear somebody in the drive-thru, and it'd be like, I'd like me a double Whopper and an extra large fries and an extra large Diet Coke. And you go, why? Do you not understand that a teaspoon of this mayonnaise contains your entire daily allowance of calories and fat? Don't worry about it.
I still remember working on Wednesdays because it was Whopper Wednesday, and that was the day I liked working because it was super busy, because I think they were cheap that day. So I still remember but I enjoyed working those days because I knew it was going to be just busy, and I like busy.
I can tell that. What is, do you ever slow down? Do you ever just really take time?
So to be honest, no. I was just talking about this on somebody on LinkedIn. And they've been talking about hitting the snooze button. I haven't hit the snooze button in decades. I wake up with energy. I just do, regardless of how much sleep I got or didn't get. I wake up. Now my wife will tell you, towards the end of the night, I really slow down. But I wake up with a lot of energy. And my mom, my 94-year-old mother, says you can sleep when you're dead.
Woohoo! Okay, that's coming from a good source. Your mother is 94. That is absolutely amazing. God bless her. That is fantastic. So, okay, so we are wrapping this part of that. Any parting thoughts before we get into the business into things?
No, it was. I'm glad we had an opportunity to talk about reindeer and Burger King.
Well, you never know what's going to come up on this show. That's just the thing. That's why I love it. I
love it.
It's just a crapshoot.
I love it.
Well, with that, we have completed the Lee After Dark 20-minute, mostly not talking about your business challenge, although you did kind of straddle the line a few times. So we'll let it slide. It's all good. No, I'm totally kidding. So being a man of my word, you've got 5 minutes to talk about your business.
Sure.
You've talked about a little bit about LinkedIn, but specifically where people can find and contact you to find out more.
Sure. I think the easiest thing is to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I connect with almost everybody and anybody. Why? Because like I always say, regardless of education, background, experience, job title, you can learn and share so much with everyone and anyone. I have gained so many great, true relationships on LinkedIn, by connecting with people just in any random industry. I would think right now, LinkedIn profile, people don't take advantage of everything on it, and recruiters and hiring managers are looking. So if you want to chat, if you just want to check out my LinkedIn profile, you can then see where to access my website and everything else, or just follow me and just see my daily videos and shares about all things, either LinkedIn, resume, job hunting, servant leadership, whatever floats my boat that day.
But no reindeer, right?
No, but I'm intrigued now. I'm gonna have to go look.
Okay.
See if they're getting hit by traffic.
See if you can work that in.
I will.
Yeah. Well, we will
tag you.
You do that. Absolutely. I would love that. That'll be a blast. So we will have all the links in the show notes you sent over here. So I'll make sure that those go into your show notes on YouTube and Anchor and blah, 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 so that people can contact you directly. So it's been an absolute pleasure talking with you. Thanks again for taking the time to spend with us. I know you don't slow down much. So, taking some time out of your day to jabber about reindeer and Burger King's a good thing.
I love it and appreciate it and wouldn't have it any other way.
Fantastic. Well, we are out of time, but if you found Lee After Dark more entertaining and relevant than most of the dreck out there, subscribe to the Lee After Dark YouTube channel. And now get Lee After Dark in your pants. We're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor FM, Stitcher, Breaker, Pocket Cast, and who the heck knows where else, so you can enjoy us wherever you stick your phone. Until next time, this is Lee Rowley with my new friend, David Alto. Be present and be well.